Let me ask you a question that most people never think about until it's too late. What would happen to your money, your house, your savings, everything you've worked your entire life to build if you died today without a will? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I'm too young for this, or maybe I don't have that much to worry about, or even the government takes it anyway, right? Wrong, on every single count. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what happens, and it's going to shock you. Stay with me. When a person dies without a legal will, lawyers call it dying intestate. That's just a fancy Latin word for nobody knows what you wanted, so the government decides for you. And here's the thing, the government's rules about who gets what are completely rigid. It doesn't matter that you promised your sister she'd get the house. It doesn't matter that your business partner was supposed to inherit your share of the company. The law doesn't care about promises. It only cares about paperwork. When you die intestate, a court, called a probate court, takes control of everything you own. Your bank accounts, your property, your investments, your jewelry, your car, even your phone. Everything goes into a legal bucket, and a judge decides who gets what based on a formula that was written decades ago and has nothing to do with your personal wishes. This process is called probate, and it is slow, expensive, and painfully public. Your neighbors could look up exactly what you owned and who got it. Nothing is private. So who actually gets your money? Let me walk you through the typical legal order of inheritance. And before I do, I need you to understand this might not be who you would choose. In most countries, the law creates what's called an order of succession. It works like a ladder. The first person on the ladder gets priority. If they're not alive, the next person gets everything. Sounds simple enough, right? Spouse first, then kids. But here's where it gets complicated. If you're married and have children, most legal systems split your estate between your spouse and your kids, not give everything to your spouse. So your wife might only get 1/3 of your savings. Your kids split the rest, equally, even if one of them is only 6 years old. And if your kids are minors, under 18, the court appoints a guardian to manage their money. That guardian might not be your spouse. The court decides who it trusts most. This process can take months, sometimes years. But it gets even more complicated. What if you're not officially married? What if you live with a partner? In most countries, an unmarried partner gets absolutely nothing. Zero. Even if you lived together for 20 years, even if they're the mother or father of your children. If there's no will and no legal marriage, they have no legal claim. I want you to let that sink in. 20 years together, and the law says, stranger. Let me tell you about a family I read about. I'll call them the Khalid family to protect their privacy. John Flip was 43 years old, a hard worker. He'd built up a small business, owned his own home, and had about 4 million rupees in savings. He always meant to write a will. He had a folder on his laptop labeled To Do, and inside it, for 3 years, sat a reminder, Write Will. He never got to it. When John passed away suddenly, his wife thought the bank accounts would just transfer to her name. She was wrong. Because his accounts were in his name only, the bank froze them immediately. She couldn't access a single rupee. For 6 months, she couldn't pay the mortgage, couldn't access his business accounts, couldn't even pay school fees for their kids. Everything was frozen while the court decided what to do. Eventually, the court split the estate, one portion to his wife, the rest split between his 2 kids and John's aging parents, because that's what the law said. The legal fees alone ate up almost 15% of his estate. 15% gone, not to his family, to lawyers and courts. His wife finally got access to funds 14 months after his death. 14 months of fighting, crying, and struggling, all because of one missing document. So what exactly is probate, and why does it cost so much? Let me break it down. Probate is the legal process where a court validates your estate and oversees the distribution of your assets. Even in the best cases with simple estates, it takes between 6 and 18 months. Complex estates, we're talking 3 to 5 years. And the costs? In many countries, probate fees run between 3 and 8% of your total estate value. On a 10 million rupee estate, that's between 300,000 and 800,000 rupees just in legal fees. Not going to your family, Gone. Then add to that court filing fees, executor fees, appraisal fees for your property and assets, publication notices. Yes, in many countries, the court publishes a notice about your death and estate in a newspaper so creditors can come forward. Your private financial life becomes public record. And while all of this is happening, your family might not be able to touch a single rupee. Okay, I've given you the bad news. Now let me give you the good news. This entire nightmare is completely preventable. Here are 5 things you should do starting this week. Step 1. Write a will. I know this sounds obvious, but 60% of adults have no will at all. A basic will doesn't have to be complicated. You can work with a lawyer, and in many countries, a simple will costs between 5,000 and 20,000 rupees to prepare professionally. That small cost protects everything you own. Your will should name an executor, the person who carries out your wishes. It should name guardians for your children if they're under 18, and it should clearly state who gets what. Be specific. Don't say my savings, say my account at Bank X, account number Y goes to my wife. Step 2. Update your beneficiary designations. Here's something most people don't know. A will doesn't override beneficiary designations. Your life insurance policy, your pension, your savings accounts, these all have a separate field where you name a beneficiary. If that field is blank or names a deceased person, the money goes into your estate and through probate. Log into every financial account you own this week and check your beneficiary designations. Update them. This takes 10 minutes and can save your family years of court battles. Step 3. Create a joint account for emergencies. If you have a spouse or partner, consider having at least one joint account with both names on it. When one person dies, joint accounts transfer immediately to the survivor. No court, no probate, no waiting. This gives your family immediate access to money for bills and expenses while the estate is being settled. Step 4. Keep a financial inventory. Your family needs to know what you own. Write it down. Every bank account, every investment, every insurance policy, every property, every digital asset, every login and password. Store this document somewhere safe and tell someone trusted where it is. Your executor can't distribute what they can't find. Step 5. Review every 3 years. Life changes. You buy property. You have more children. You start a business. A will written 10 years ago might leave out your youngest child entirely. Set a reminder every 3 years to review your will and update it. Every major life event, marriage, divorce, birth, death, major asset purchase, should trigger an immediate review. So let me bring this back to you. Right now, today, what would happen to your money if you were gone tomorrow? I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to give you control, because a will isn't about death. It's about love. It's a document that says, I care so much about the people in my life that I took one afternoon to make sure they're protected no matter what. John, from our story, eventually recovered. It took 14 months and a lot of heartbreak, but they got through it. And the last thing John's wife said in an interview was this: "He was such a careful, loving man. I just wish he had taken 1 hour, just 1 hour to write it down." Don't let your love for your family go undocumented. Start today. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Hit subscribe for more money lessons that actually matter. And I'll see you in the next one.